Just before we get into section 5.7, subtraction with mixed numbers, just want to show you something real quick there with addition. In sum addition, sometimes you don't have to do or change it all to improper fractions. For example, if you got 2.5 and you've got 3 2/5, for addition only, you can just add these two guys together. So now you got 5 whole put together. That way, all you got to do is figure out 1/2 plus 2/5. Then, when you times that by 5, and then you find that you times him by 2, all you got to worry about then is 5 over 10 and 4 over 10, and you end up with 9 over 10. So for addition only, you can add the whole number parts together, and if you happen to make more than another whole, then you just add it to your whole number part. So that's a little trick for addition if you don't want to totally change it to an improper fraction. For subtraction, you must change it to an improper fraction. The reason being, not all of them will work out so nice and even for you. So if I take this one here, 2 1/6, I'll change it to a improper fraction. 2 times 6 is 12, plus 1 more is going to give me 13 over 6. Then I'm going to take away 5 over 6. And look at that, the bottoms are the same, lucky me. 13 take away 5 will give you 8 over 6, which 6 will go into 8 one time, and there's 2 left over out of 6, which we're not going to leave 2 6 because that reduces to 1 over 3 if we divide the top and the bottom by 2. So there's our answer to that one. So we're lucky in this case the bottoms are the same. In this one, the bottoms are the same again. Okay, that is the exact same one, so we know how to do that one. They're all the same. For this one here, the bottoms are the same, so it's going to be out of 8. So 1 times 8 is 8, plus 7 more is 15. And then we got 5 over 8. So our answer is 20 over 8, or 8 goes into 20 2 times to give you 16, and then I'll have 4 8ths, which is the same as 2 1/2 if you divide the top and the bottom fraction by 4. This one, not so easy because the denominators are not the same. So we're going to change it to make sure, first of all, it's an improper fraction. 2 times 12 is 24, plus 1 more is 25. Now to change the bottom, 1 times 3 is 3, plus 1 more is 4. Now we want to find the lowest common multiple of 12 and 3, and of course the answer is 12. So I'm going to have 25 over 12, because this one's already out of 12. And what will I times this by to make it 12 on the bottom? Well, you times it by 4. So now I'll have 16 on top over 12. So 25 take away 16 will leave me with 9 over 12. Of course, I can divide the top by 3 and the bottom by 3 to give me 3 over 4 as my answer. So it's the same as addition. You simply change it to an improper fraction, make sure the denominator or the bottoms can become the same, and then you'll get your answer. So let's look at this one. This one doesn't look like a fraction, but remember, any whole number can be written as a fraction, 3 over 1. In this case, if it was 4, I go 4 over 1. If it was 1,000,000, I go 1,000,000 over 1. That's any number that's a whole number can be written as a fraction. Now I'm going to subtract 1 5/8. Well, I'm going to change it to an improper fraction. 8 times 1 is 8, plus 5 more will give me 13. Now all I got to do is make the bottoms the same. How will I make this 1 become similar to that 8? Oh, well, that's easy. Just times the bottom by 8 and times the top by 8. Now I'll have 24 over 8. Take away 13 over 8. And my answer that's left is 11 over 8. I'm not going to leave it like this. I'm going to change it back into a mixed number. 8 will go into 11 one time, and there's 3 left over out of 8. Here's a word problem, which you can tell it's subtraction because the word's right here. How many more? That's usually a telltale sign that it's a subtraction problem. So it says George swam 8 3/4 laps on Monday, and then 6 1/5 lap on Tuesday. How many more laps did he swim on Monday than on Tuesday? So he had 8 3/4, and we want to see how many more that is. So we're going to take away the laps he did the other day to find out the difference. Now, in this one, they're not the same bottoms, so we're going to have to convert them to improper fractions. So let's put this down for each one, just to not forget the bottoms stay the same. 8 times 4 is 32, 33, 34, 35. 6 times 5 is 30, plus 1 more is 31. The only thing we have left to do is make the bottoms the same. And the lowest common multiple of both of these will be 20 if you work it out. So what do I times this by to make it 20? And the answer is 5 for the bottom. What do I times 5 by to make it 20? The answer is 4. Now I will have both my denominators written out of 20. So 5 times 35, you can either work that out on your calculator or just do it on the side of your page. 5 times 5 is 25. 3 times 5 is 15, 16, 17. So I've got 175. What's 4 times 31? I can work that out on the other side. Or if you're allowed to use a calculator, 4 times 1 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. So it's 124 over here. The only thing left to do is subtract, because the bottoms are the same. So my answer is going to be out of 20. So 175 take away 124. Well, 51 will be your answer. And you can just work that out on the side of your page. The last thing to do is change it back to a mixed number. How many times does 20 go into 51? Well, 20, 40, well, yeah, twice. That's it. Twice will give you 40. And there's 11 left over out of 20. So the answer to the question, how many more laps did he swim on Monday than on Tuesday? You would write out as he swam 2 11/20 more laps on Monday than on Tuesday.